Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Sporia Campaign. Last time, we ended our massive migration across the width of our nation. We had a huge horde of migrators working their way around the country, depositing more population, especially in the northeast, where we have completely transformed the character of Bersentia as a region into a part of the Wayrasport core. Now, there's quite a bit of our country that remains very multicultural, multi-religious, which our migrators hadn't had time to get to before I pivoted from this strategy and essentially tried something a little different from what I usually do. And this is a new approach that I'm very interested to continue exploring, which is to become a bit more pragmatic about where expensive fortifications and the use of fortified provincial capitals is really necessary in the country now. Now, obviously, in my literal core, this is really not likely to be necessary across the board. However, on the peripheries, I last episode talked about how defortifying the north against Carotia was honestly probably fine, because Carotia and I guess Carbonia and the other northerners are very unlikely to actually attack me, at least not without me kind of figuring out that they're going to or that they could do it. I did successfully predict a previous attack by Scythia, although the attack itself caught me off guard. I knew war with Scythia was going to happen one way or another. And speaking of which, of course, the Scythian wall of fortifications makes sense to remain in some form or another. Although I will want to grab this in order to form Slavia, which means that war with Scythia, initiated by me, may be on the horizon. And once we are taking part of Sarmatia, perhaps I even rethink where the border in the east should be. Although the regions are very awkwardly laid out, there's an argument for maybe making, what's the sea called? The Palus Maeotic. I don't know what this sea is called in sort of real life, but the area around Crimea and like this river, this could sort of become the new border. Although again, with the shape of the regions, I probably want to actually get the rest of the regions. I guess a region split that I have with Scythia, it's not the end of the world, but either way, putting aside exactly what the long-term plans ends up being, for now at least, there's very strong reasons to maintain fortifications along the border with Scythia, while Scythia remains the most likely aggressor against me, and they've of course done this before. I continue to fear them the most of everyone that I directly neighbor. Incidentally, Buridavencia is also a bit more substantial. They do have, at minimum, 130 Levy raising pops. They are a settled tribe, unlike Scythia, who's a kingdom. So they're going to have a very large levy, even if they don't have low centralization because they are a tribe. Tribes tend to have more organized, larger levies than kingdoms, thanks to their laws and whatnot. And if they've also integrated the Getians, which is certainly possible at this point, Buridavencia could be a bit more substantial. Now, I think because of that, because my border with them is actually quite narrow, keeping fortifications down here, south of the Carpathian Mountains, is reasonable, and I think I will do that. But other than that, other internal fortifications are a bit more of a question, and while I've already started to defortify and transition my western and sort of northwestern core into a more kind of hybrid between my previous strategy and a more normal way of playing the game, where you have centers of your country, usually these are cities, but I'm essentially implementing a kind of stand-in for this with tribal settlements and this sort of unusual strategy of packing these territories with tribesmen. Now, with the tribal settlements, let me go over, for example, to Bialystok. Although Bialystok being the capital actually does have some other modifiers, so let me find a place that has a settlement that's finished. Is there any place with a finished settlement? I actually don't know if there is. I guess we can just do some quick math. So this will reduce citizen ratio by 2.50%, which means in every territory except for the capital, which will always have some diversity because it's the capital, we're going to be looking at maybe 8 or 9% citizen ratio, and probably 46 or so tribesman ratio, 46% slave ratio. Now, there will be demotion down to slaves, as is happening here already. However, with that noted, although the tribal settlement building doesn't directly provide like a tax bonus, which the slaves would benefit from, the output bonus for the tribesmen that will remain there is quite substantial. Now, perhaps there's an argument for using a different building other than tribesman settlement, because we're going to inevitably have a large number of slaves as well. Let me think about this for a minute. With the amount of pop capacity, I don't think we're going to have enough actual slaves to achieve the surpluses. There, maybe actually going for Council of Elders is a little better, because this will, well then with the extra ratio that's going to take from the slave population, so this won't give us enough slaves largely to actually have local population, so it probably doesn't make sense. I think it was the market that increased local tax rate. I think there's perhaps an argument for going for markets, because then we get more tax from the slaves and the tribesmen. Now, slaves are still going to produce tax whether I improve it or not from the building, and I think ultimately I'd rather have a split, so all the provincial capitals being split between tribesmen and slaves, but the tribesmen have this enormous 30% tribesmen output bonus. I think that's probably worth maintaining, because that is where we're going to be getting our manpower. And for both military and increasingly tyranny purposes, having just tons and tons and tons of manpower recovery is a great strategy for me. Especially because if I'm defortifying a lot of my country, I'm going to increasingly rely on my levies to actually pick up the slack. And speaking of which, I think I'm going to actually fully commit, and I'm actually going to just fully defortify the rest of the country, except for where I'm confident fortifications are absolutely needed in the east. This one is still disloyal, so I have to wait on that. But I'm going to completely commit now to this strategy. This is bold new territory for this campaign, but I really like the idea of fully committing to any given strategy. And while I have not yet decided where to move the capitals around here, once the loyalty gets a little higher, which it will faster because of all the Sporic pops I've added over there, I will be able to make these calls. So let me go ahead and just get this all in place now. Now, the other thing is over here, I can leave these two forts right here, and arguably I don't even really need this fort, technically. But they can squeeze through here and then get into my very unfortified core. So the Olitz fort and the Piro Bordava fort probably should remain. But the other forts can go, and we'll revisit that later. This fort here is needed for as the end of the Scythian wall, so we'll hold off on that for now. And then here's this fort here. And this fort, I think, can go as well. This fort as well. Yeah, we are really, really turning to trust on the Scythian wall to hold back the Scythians. And for just the sheer... We're basically pivoting to a... We're pivoting to a kind of mass assault doctrine approach to our national defense, where we're going to rely on the army of meat that we can raise, the wall of meat we can raise as an army to defend us. Now, of course, if Berdavencia attacks me and they get through the forts, or some other person bordering me, maybe Semnonia, which I think is extremely unlikely, but say someone attacks me, I have no forts over there, I can raise the levy near there from the region, right? And each region now has, with my strategy, increasingly a pretty good sized levy. I mean, Venetia's levy is just enormous. So I really am going to be relying on being able to raise the levy quickly and near the scene of the invasion to respond. So this strategy has already dramatically improved my fort maintenance, and I think that that is something I'm going to stick with. Now, this is weird. I don't really feel comfortable still with this change in the policy, but I think this is something I want to explore in this campaign, because we've reached a point of the campaign where I have got, because of my 30 previous hours of work in the strategy, I have got a very uniquely powerful army, which I normally wouldn't have an army anywhere near this strong with expansion like this by this point in the campaign. And with this powerful army, I can essentially take advantage of using it as my defensive system and not needing to rely on static forts that are eating up my economy. And of course, with my increased balance, I can actually continue to strengthen this army faster and more efficiently by doing slave micro, by doing tribes micro, by setting up territories for migration. We're going all in, essentially, on the migrator lifestyle here by doing this. So that is that. Oh, actually, I missed this fort here as well. Yeah, so very interesting new approach here, but I am interested to see how this goes. Do we have any serious corruption among the chiefs? No, they just are super expensive for no good reason at all. At least I now have more money to pay for this. Okay, let me take a quick stock at where we are. Oh, you know what? Actually, Divine Sacrifices ran out. I think I may have been waiting to do this again, and if I wasn't, I should do it again once I have 50. So we'll go ahead and resume. Yeah, I should have just waited for the full army to show up, but... Oh, Lima Jautataita died at 40... The governor of Astulia died. Oh, she died in childbirth. Oh, that's really sad. I liked her. Oh, that's really, really sad. Lugia's gonna rebel. Okay, sure. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay, well, that really sucks. I was actually really excited about that governor. Yeah, childbirth is really dangerous, especially in this olden age. Okay, who wants the job? Someone who doesn't have insane corruption. We do have Gubjig Anmentaita, but she has all the previous modifiers, so I'm a little hesitant. Maybe come back to her. Anyone who doesn't have any problems? Hippu Oska? I mean, minor character might be better here. This is... hold on. Oh, you're Fennec, though. I don't really want a Fennec governor. Okay, you're Weyrisporic. 7 finesse isn't the best ever, but... you're pretty old, though. Oh my gosh, okay. I need to... Perhaps I actually poach one of my officers for this. The Apothecary? What's his loyalty like? Submissive but ambitious. He's in poor health, though. Aren't you the Apothecary? Okay. Do some self-treatment. Alright. What about my researchers? You actually look kind of good. Healthy. I gave him free hands, though. Right. Maybe not. Let's see. Deceitful is annoying, but he's corrupt and he's deceitful. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's gonna be too hard to deal with. I could just bring Gubja back. The commerce loss, lots of fort defense, which is now not very useful. I don't like the commerce loss at all. Rival of ruler. She's a rival to this ruler. Wasn't she a rival of the previous ruler? She's got to stop rivaling rulers, man. All right. Jeez. Okay. Let's see. Corrupt plus 10. Corrupt might be okay. If you're otherwise, I think I'm okay with flat 10 if it's not raising. With selective immunity, it is going to stay at 10. All right. Gertis, I'm going to put my faith in you. Please. Okay. Good start. Please stay above 33. Now, what did you do with my policies? Let's see here. Oh boy, alright. Just... Alright, I'm gonna have to... You know what, I have to wait on this. This can bleed for a minute. We need to get our divine sacrifices going first. One thing at a time here. I don't know what's going on, like... just the entire province of Astulia has been a constant just pain in my in my neck. Like, I can't, I don't know why. Like, this is one of my starting regions, and I just keep having problems with Vistulia over and over and over. I've got constant governor, shenanigans. I've got constant provincial disloyalty. Like, this is an area next to my, like, home region. There's Weyrasporks that are from the Vistulia area. I can't catch a break with Vistulia, no matter what I do. All right. What was that? Oh, wait, no, wrong one. Okay. Down you go, and then once you finish moving, oh yeah, this is still worth it. Once you finish moving, we can do that. Actually, I should have waited to see if, it wouldn't have let me on pause. That's too bad. We have to now wait a little bit longer. But having the flat stability earlier is definitely better. All right, get lowered. Good. Okay, how are we looking economically? Definitely getting up there. Okay, I'm curious to see how the tax looks after the settlements are finished, because this will boost up the, yeah, look at this. Even before the settlements here, 0.12 base tax, 47 local manpower. That's insane. Yeah, this strategy is really going to be good for manpower especially. This is a really, really good strategy for manpower. All right, so 0.16 and, oh yeah, I should look at it over here, shouldn't I? Oh wait, yeah, I'm reading it wrong. So it's local manpower, so it's so confusing. It's local manpower base, but then the actual province sends me 7 manpower. Okay, that actually does make more sense. Okay, fair enough. The way manpower is calculated in the engine is really confusing, honestly, for me, so we'll look at these numbers up here. This is the more accurate number, the summary number. And then once Putokos is done, I can also switch over to Sirna, which I think is ultimately the better idea. Okay, yeah, now 0.20 tax and 8 manpower, so it's incremental. Yeah, it does show the larger number here. But then it's ultimately modified by the territory. I think, yeah, output, that's really frustrating. It's so reduced, but I can't do much about that. Yeah, ultimately, I think that this is still worth it for this strategy. Now, of course, these guys are going to demote down to slaves, which is frustrating, but I just can't do anything about that. I can't lock it at, maximum tribesmen. And the slaves are still going to produce me tax, ultimately. And you know what? In fairness, by doing this strategy, one thing it does for me is it creates slaves for me over time, gradually. It'll, in fact, create specifically Weyraspork slaves who will, for sort of the slave pop type category, have some of the least severe happiness problems, who I can then send around to fuel my largely underdeveloped commerce economy. So this will give me a steady stream, very gradually, of slaves to make use of for the commerce economy. So that's pretty good. All right. Yeah, I need to keep waiting. Yeah, this is super strange, but it's fun to think about how I can, make these sorts of changes, because I could just continue expanding, continue building fortified capitals everywhere, and not really make any changes to my gameplay. And that's totally fine, but the risk is then, at some point, I just run out of stuff to do, right, in the campaign. Like, this campaign is fun because it's so weird for me. Right, the religious procession. A struggle between the religious echelons of our society and the peasants has recently come into light as the populace at large feels like the religious ceremonies are inaccessible and distant. On the other hand, our high priest and her attendants demand the distance needed to do their jobs properly and argue the peasants have no right to the inner workings of the ceremonies. Okay, I absolutely would rather have stability over open temples. This is completely fine. I'm fine losing the omen power. It's going to just change my tribesman happiness by a little bit, but it's really not that much. Same religion happiness as well. That's pretty good. Losing loyalty on Ugna is annoying, but I would rather... I mean, she's at the max right now, so... there's an argument... Okay, here's the question. Would I prefer to lose no loyalty and gain 10 loyalty on her, or lose 15 loyalty for 5 years on her? my PI gain's pretty limited anyways. I think I'm going to go for the full stability option. The peasants are right. Almost back up to 50 stability as well. That's going to definitely help with our... oh my gosh. Armenia going wild. Look at this. This is some crazy... Okay, Armenia has a big border with the Ptolemaics now. Do we have a Ptolemaic Armenia confrontation coming up here? Ptolemaics have been doing really well this campaign, but they're going to hit their limits. Also, I think Kush kind of fell apart. That's too bad. Kush would have been the main counter for the Ptolemaics. Maybe Nabatea? Nah, probably not, honestly. Seleucids still have quite a bit of strength, but they don't actually border Ptolemaics. You know, Armenia is kind of insane. Oh my gosh, Ptolemaics in Greece? What? Oh, wow. Ptolemaic Corinthos? Ptolemaic... oh wow, okay. That is that's a lot. Oh wow, okay, Rome actually lost stuff over here. Okay, they made these guys, I think I actually noticed this before, this friend and ally of Rome. But things seem to have fallen apart over here. Rome still holds this coastline, but Rome's African holdings are not in the best of shape, all things considered. Interesting development. You know, I'm gonna make Scythia one of my outline countries. I want to know when they're at war, and I'm also going to demote Alania. Alania at this point is actually quite a bit weaker than Scythia. Well, that's not really true. Alania has a lot of their core population, but they're weak enough now that I'm gonna demote them. Scythia is back on the menu. All right, let's see how this shifts. Maybe after the tick. Actually, it was before the tick. Alright, that's pretty good. Yeah, look at the manpower increases are very noticeable. We're over 300. I was around like 200 even like last episode. This is an insane change in my manpower gain. Yeah, manpower is the real like resource I'm min-maxing for here with this strategy, which in fairness of all the resources I could focus on, I feel confident in my economy, especially once I have more slaves to fill up my commerce territories, the ones producing trade goods. I feel confident that my economy overall is fine and doesn't need to be super focused on, but the manpower gains are absurd. Absolutely amazing. Let's keep it going. Next month is the Omen month, and I think we will be... It also is, I think, a council month as well. We'll see what we do with that. But yeah, I think Sirna is definitely the god to go for. Last quick check. I mean, it does help, but it's not really making a huge difference, ultimately. Popularity just kind of bounces around when you're at peacetime. It doesn't really... Like, it generally decays, but when you're at war, it increases really fast. Because the tribal leader plays such a central role, leading all the levies, right? So... Okay. 1st of January, 5:15. Civic perk available as well. Ooh. You know, construction leader actually would be kind of nice. And, okay, it's just for 60 months. Ooh, pop growth. Okay, let's see. I think I want to get to taxation policies, if I could. This is all the stuff that's in Vestulia. Or, I mean, Venetia, if I recall correctly. Let's see. Ribonia. Is this Rugia? Yeah, this is all the stuff in the core region. I do want to get to this in her lifetime. Alright, so let's grab construction leader. 5 years of cheaper buildings. Okay, let's grab Sirna. Yep. And I actually think I may want to build a holy site for Sirna. That might be a good idea. And I wonder if I should actually do it in Bialystok. Now, the argument for doing it here is it might be a better fit for the capital territory for it to be a sanctuary. I kind of like this idea, honestly. And I could do it now as well. I do have a lot of stability. Maybe Divine Sacrifices can wait. I think I'm going to go for this, honestly. Yeah, Sirna really is like the god. Like this would actually... No, okay. Let's consider this carefully. So Cyrano's passive of supply limit everywhere is not a huge deal, although it does actually help with my huge levies, so it does have a slight effect. It helps with my manpower management slightly, in terms of reducing attrition. But the Tribesman Happiness Omen being strengthened would actually be nice. I think I'm going to go for this. I think I like the idea of having it be in Bialystok because it's the provincial capital. It has a lot of extra ratio that it normally would not have. 4%, 10% for nobles. And the tribesman ratio here is reduced. I think, although this was, I think, the first place I built a tribal settlement, this specific territory, because of its other modifiers that just come with being the capital, I think it should actually be a sanctuary. So I'm going to go ahead and set up Cyrna here. Now, another idea is that I could actually make it the Potokos location. I'm pretty confident that Potokos won't be switched. Yeah, the only other option is Lipa, who is good with the pop happiness, but I think the PI gain, the passive gain, is really useful. This is one of my strongest, under Vilkos's passive, this is probably my strongest passive modifier. Ooh, there's also Ovinos, though, for the output. That would actually have a big effect. Ah, man, it's fun to have actually competitive choices here. Having it be Potokos, who is like a ruler god, kind of makes sense, like lore-wise for Bialystok. I think given my severe limitations with political influence in this campaign, for a number of reasons, it may make sense to go straight for Potokos. Let's see. Man. I think I'm going to go for Potokos. I'm going to do it. There we go. Grove of Potokos, which is now going to mean we get 12.50% PI. We're going to go ahead and destroy the tribal settlement and build a sanctuary with that new construction leader bonus helping out there as well. Very good. So now the capital of Bialystok will be a sort of a temple village, a shrine, a sanctuary, to the regal Potokos, the god of the chiefs, as it were. And I could put some tribesman happiness there. I don't think that's too useful. Do I have any other resources I could move, or resources, any other reliquary things I could move around? Nothing too useful here, honestly, so I think that's fine. Okay, that is probably a worthwhile expenditure. Now, I have delayed divine sacrifices, which I don't love, but I think this is a good use of the political influence while I have it. Okay, now, incidentally, does Slavia change my government type? I don't think it does, right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't change my government type. It's good to know. Yeah, I really could just, hold on, this interface. I really could just go get it right now. Right? I think what I want to do, I want to basically fully transition my country into this new strategy and then get ready to fight Scythia to claim this territory. This would also let me, one thing this would do, it would have a cost-saving benefit. I could shorten the Scythian wall quite a bit to this river. This would save me 3 or possibly 4 forts worth of maintenance to do that. That's pretty good. Okay, now I need to, honestly, at this point, I'm going to spend my PI fixing some of these policies, because some of this is really not going to fly. Yeah, look at this. What are you thinking? All right. Let us... Oh, wait, let's not proceed quite yet, because we can do the War Council. Do I actually have a claim? Who do I have claims on right now? I actually don't have a claim on Scythia, so that's good that I thought about this. I need to get a new claim on Scythia. Okay, so if Scythia is offered in the War Council, I need to go for it. Alright, I'm not going to bother reading this. Okay, there's Scythia. Orgame. Where is Orgame? Or wait, hold on. The Orgamian province of Scythia? Moesia Inferior. Oh, these guys over here. Oh, this province is called Scythia? What? Isn't Scythia over here? Oh, wait, no, that's Bersenthia. Oh, that's extremely confusing. Okay. Okay, so I guess we don't get a Scythia claim. That's really annoying. So we've got Naharlarvia, which, or, Naharvalia is the correct name for them. I could go into Bohemium, and I do have a mission that directs me towards Bohemium. However, if you take a look at the region layout, this is just the most awkward region in the universe for me to go and grab all of right now. There's a lot of reasons why going into Bohemium isn't probably the way to go. Again, I think that likely the next region for me, it could be Hyperborea, and it honestly might be Hyperborea. This is going to just be kind of a slog to get all of it from Kerochia and the other Northerners, but no one else up here is going to really challenge me. Right, Alania, who's sort of the closest one over here, is not close enough. There is Amerigia, but do I actually have to fight them? Not quite. That's very good. Yeah, fortunately, Amerigia just about is not in Hyperborea. So I think Hyperborea might be next, frankly. And fortunately, I just have to really fight Kerochia to get most of it. Now, I could still use this to get some loyalty, and let's see. Who do I want to gain or lose loyalty on? Ugna, notably, has a lot of health problems right now, and she's also not she's not seeking treatment, which is annoying, but I'm fine with her actually dying. Let's see. This would make Ugna... Would it make her disloyal? Oh yeah, it would make her disloyal. Honestly, is there any reason to go towards Orgame? I mean, I could try to take over the overlordship of Orgame from the Lysimachans and have them be kind of a border state, but I don't really, because that's the other idea, is I could have border states actually protecting me with forts that they build and they pay for. That's an idea. Fighting the Lysimachans is a little too complicated right now. Hold on. Allied with Malos. Huh? That's an interesting alliance. Maybe this is actually doable. This is an interesting idea. I'm kind of interested in actually getting the Orgame claim, just to kind of have it for later. Naharvalia is an easy target for me. I can just go for them whenever. I mean, this is ultimately just giving me the claim, so it's not the end of the world to have the claim on them. I think it comes down... So yeah, I think neither of these directions is a clear expansion direction for me right now. I think what I need to do is make this choice based on the loyalty change. This will make Ugna disloyal, and her health problems... I could bribe her, I guess. I don't like that, though. I don't like increasing her corruption. Do I have another way to fight the Lysimachans right now? Huh? How do I have a claim on Monopia? What? What? Okay, I don't know. Also, what is happening over here? This is some strange migration strategies here, but I don't know where this Monopia claim came from, but okay, sure, I have a claim on Monopia for what that's worth. Could I invade Ireland? Why? I can't really think of why I'd want to do that, but I could do that. That's technically an option for me. It's a very questionable option, but it's an option. I think I'm just gonna not take a claim at this time. There's like, I think if it gave me a Scythia claim, I'd go for it then. But as it stands, I'll have to get the... Oh! Well. I see. Okay. I guess war with the Lysimachans is going to be happening here. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. It's to take Clepia. Okay. That is not something I was expecting. Okay. Fairness to the Lysimachans, they did catch me off guard with that one. I did not think the Lysimachans of all people would attack me. Okay, interesting. We're going to have to... I mean, fortunately, I do have the forts down here. What is their plan here? Now, my coastline is still fairly fortified. They can get through if they're smart, but... Okay, let's go ahead and, I guess, raise the levies. I'll just do it actually all in the same locations. We're going to raise... If I can avoid raising the Vestulia levy, I think that would be ideal. And the Scythia levy. Let me raise my 2 most reliable levies here, just to start, and kind of see what we're dealing with here. Let's have you guys maybe meet up around here and just move as a group. Well, yeah, let's move them kind of near each other. Okay. This is a this is an unexpected development, to be sure. I don't know what the Lysimachids are thinking. What's their navy size? I mean, they might be bringing people over by ship, but okay, I'm really caught off guard by this. I sort of don't know. I'm kind of flabbergasted by... Hold on. Are we... Oh my god, are you actually... Oh my actual god. Okay, I would rather bribe you than give you free hands. But I don't have time to wait for that right now. Free hands for now, and then... Okay. Yeah, this is a weird development. Okay. What's weird is I didn't get a claim on Orgame. It's almost like the Lysimachids got like fake news. like they were watching, you know, cable news, and they're like, the dastardly Sporians are claiming Orgame. And they're like, no, we can't let them do that. Actually, I probably it's probably okay actually right now. I need to keep that going. Okay, really strange. I'm just gonna bring everyone down here and organize them into a big stack. I don't know what they're thinking. The AI doesn't usually leave me this flabbergasted, but this is a really, really strange declaration by the Lysimachids. Are you kidding me? Alright, I'm gonna give him free hands as well. We're gonna have to deal with the corruption later. Can't deal with clan chiefs right now. Alright, tribal settlements are finishing as well. Even with everything raised, my manpower should continue to strengthen. I'm not sure... also, I'll look at all these people running in as soon as all the Lysimachid and their tributaries trade. Oh wait, the tributaries didn't come in, the feudatories. Who's in this war? It's just them? Huh? I thought feudatories join in wars. What the hell? Okay. Well, that's okay, well, alright, I hope Berdivensians want to give me military access. Okay, they do. Thanks, Berdivensians. Let's get it from the people who border the Lysimachids. What? Okay. This is weird. I think this is some scripted thing. This must be one of their missions or something. It targets whoever owns this province, because they didn't call in their tributaries, which is what I assumed they would do. Or their feudatories, I should say. Well, okay, I thought I might make these guys into some sort of border state, but I guess not in this instance. Let's actually have these guys all continue kind of walking down, not together, walking down in this direction. Okay. I'm just really confused by this development. Where are they as well? Okay, it's really, really strange. I guess I'll take the opportunity to go attack the Lysimachids, which I wanted to do before. I could actually do that tech war idea that I talked about a long time ago. It is on the table here. I mean, you know, I shouldn't forget as well. You need to be switched all the way back to harsh treatment. There we go. I need to keep an eye on that. Very strange. Very strange. Is this in reaction? No, it must be from a mission. I was thinking maybe it's in reaction to my defortification efforts, but it's... I don't know what to make of this. This might be one of the most unexpected AI war declarations I've ever had, honestly. Like, the Scythia declaration caught me off guard, but I knew it was going to happen eventually. I had defenses built for it and everything. But this one's really questionable. Okay. Settlements over here are done. Nice. Untiring devotion. Thank you. 54 stability is great. Who are you being hired by? Okay, we're fine. Okay, here come... That's it? Is that your invasion force? Okay. These guys are about to have a real bad time over here. Good thing I didn't defortify this. I was talking about it earlier and I hadn't gotten around to it. Alright, that is very lucky. Okay. Am I going to have to go through... Oh, these guys are going to give me access? Are you joking? No way. Okay. Wow. This is some perfidy right here. They should not give me access. Unthinkable. You guys head there. Alright, well, here we go. Forces to effort. Oh! What? Hold on. I just clicked through something. Scythia has declared war on me as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. What is going on? What? I don't have any AE, lower tyranny. What is happening? All right, Scythia, I mean, fair point to Scythia. This is a good moment to declare war on me, but I am just completely blindsided. Okay, we need to deal with the Lysimachus first. My Scythian wall, well, okay, here's the thing. Now the Scythian wall, which previously held them in place long enough for my forces to arrive, it needs to hold them in place long enough for my armies to arrive. My armies are in the area, though, is the thing. This is to take Sarmatia Superioris, which is this one over here. Okay. I think the best course of action here is to just... okay, so the Lysimachid war score will continue increasing because I hold Clepia. I think the plan here is I attack this incoming legion, hopefully beat it. I guess I shouldn't confidently assume that I will. Oh, I will for sure. What? Where is your morale at? Max 3 morale? Well, that's what I have too. Okay, this is very hard AI. What are you doing? Okay, Lysimachid throw in like crazy. But this may not be the entire Lysimachid force. Okay, I think we need to bring in some mercs, honestly, to help reinforce the Scythian wall. Actually, the mercs might be better suited at... And I want to sack Lysimachid stuff. Yeah, okay, let's see what we got here. Recruitable, not employed, not hostile. We actually have a huge merc stack right here as well. Or not huge, but we have a good merc stack. I'm looking for size here. Okay, you're pretty promising. 11k. Alright. Any other huge merc stacks in the area? They're not very good. Let me go back to the 11k lady. Let's see. Against horse archers, what are we going to want here? 10%. Who beats horse archers? Is it just other horse archers? Actually, who does beat horse archers? You think regular archers would beat horse archers? Light cav beat horse archers? Really? I don't know about that. I feel like horse archers are kind of a counter to light cav, but okay, sure. Do we have any light cav-centric forces I could potentially turn to? Sort of. Where are you? Okay. I could hire you. This might not be the worst idea. I should probably just hire 3 merc stacks of substantial size and bring them in. I can afford it. I mean, this is my way to get this territory from Scythia, so that's nice. I didn't need to claim on them after all. You're really good. I'm gonna hire you. Alright, you need to get into my territory. What? What do you mean disloyal? Okay, I think that's just a glitch. Let me now hire... Actually, let me go by. There we go. Get into my territory. And then go north. And then let me... I think there's no need to spare any expense here. Let's just bring in large enough forces to help me deal with this. Okay, you're too far away. It's you that I was looking at. Let's hire you. Okay, it just needs a data update. Okay, hold on. I'm going to send all the mercs in the general direction of Scythia. What's our... You can choose to assign a better Legion commander than that. Okay. Alright. God, this AI. Let me bring in one more merc stack. Do I hire a pirate fleet, maybe, to fight the navy from Lysimakids? Oh, hold on. Lysimakids just called in all of their guys. Okay. That's a bit more questionable, because now all these guys could hire a bunch of mercs. Alright, well, let me bring in one more merc stack. Let me find someone who's got some strength to them. We're too far away. You're right in the area. Yeah, you're fine. Let's bring you in. Okay. So these mercs, I'm going to have head up there. I'm going to send the mercs to go fight Scythia, and then I'm going to use my levies to try and repel the Lysimakids. Or should I do it the other way around? I think what I'll do, let me bring the mercs kind of towards the center of my country, and then take stock of where I need them the most. Now, I just need no one over here to attack me as well. So, like, I need Kurochia to not get any funny ideas. If Kurochia attacked me right now, which the Kurochia AI may be thinking about it, I'd actually have a bit of an issue. Hopefully, they don't think of doing this. Carbonia also broke off their relationship with Kurochia. Yeah, I kind of thought this relationship would fall apart. Good thing I'm still guaranteeing them. They could attack Carbonia and bring me in that way. Okay, things just got interesting in the Sporia campaign. It needs to be said. So we're going to just crush these guys with the full force of all of our... Well, not all of our levies, but most of our levies. Actually, let's not go that close. Let's wait for everyone to get here and then move in together. I can suffer a little bit of attrition. Ooh. Ooh, okay. That's a pretty substantial invasion force, and that might not be all of their strength as well. Who is leading this force here? Okay. I can't do anything with you. What about you? No, you're the queen, so definitely not. Yeah, 47. I'm not going to be able to do anything funny there. Good thing I've got these mercs. Okay, this is a bit more of an issue. I need to repel the Lysimakid invasion and pivot over to attack the Scythians. Yeah, I think I made the right call hiring all 3 merc slots. Economy will have to hold. In fact, I'm going to increase. Well, it's too late now. Won't do too much. All right, we're also not gonna do any more sacrifices of manpower. I need all of it. No. All right, they're attacking Keen. Okay. They could break through pretty quick, so we need to get this invasion repelled. In fact, I think I am going to have these 2 merc forces just recover their morale around here, and then defend here while my levies respond to Scythia. Scythia is a much more pressing threat here. Okay, all of you head in here. Status quo. I like that. All right, who's leading? So you actually do have good martial. Do you have the best martial? You actually do. Okay, so the first levy of Venetia leads the way. For now, everybody else follows you. So I'll just go through this big list right here. We've got 47,000 men right here. It's like I try to do something different and try to have a peaceful period of my life in this campaign, but immediately the AI punishes me. Okay, here we go. This should be a complete victory, but we'll see if shenanigans ensue. I need to go respond to Scythia right now. No time to waste. Also, I shouldn't overlook that I still have problems to deal with over here. That's fine, that's fine. Olbia may have trouble soon anyways, but alright, this needs to be switched to harsh treatment. Alright. Yeah, they're running for their lives. Understandable. A loyal subject, Ugna is loyal. Okay. Oh man, I do actually have a lot of stability right now, but I'm not sure. So I guess I'd use the PI to get Divine Sacrifices, but I don't think that would actually give me 10 stability in the time I'd have it. I'd like to have the PI, but no, right now I need the stability. I'm also going to reorganize. Reorganizing a Merc is very expensive. How much are we? It's worth it. No time to waste. I can afford it. You just hold here, reorganize in time for the tick. That's good. Right, Battle of Olatis. I'm so glad I didn't defortify this. Whew. Alright, good. These guys are running for their lives. I'm going to weirdly now not follow them and just go straight over here. Let's go to Skira. And I need to get peace with okay, if Scythia hadn't attacked me, I'd use this as a chance to try to get tech from Lysimachus. My goal now is to get peace with Lysimachus as soon as possible. And let's see. I'm gonna need to get to at least 10 before I can get there. We're so slow. Doing the best we can here. We've got some pretty big limitations here. So these mercs will mainly, so we'll, I think, send the mercs in to just slow siege Troismus and generally try to defend this area. But okay, that's enough for now. Both of you head over here. Yeah, my economy is being used in full right now to try and pay for everything. They're gonna take Olbia before I get there. That's fine. I can retake it. Breach and Kin? Oh, that's not what I want to see. These guys cannot get behind my fort line. They're going to... If the AI were smart, it would splinter off all of its horses and run in every direction. I would not be able to catch them. It would be a disaster. But I don't think the AI will think about doing that. But yeah, I can't let these guys pass the Scythian wall in any serious force. I'm going to have so much trouble if they get past the wall. I actually really like this situation for me, because this is testing me with my new strategy of defortifying my country. This is the exact situation that would really put that to a stress test. Like exactly what I don't want to have happen. You guys actually go there together and then just attack together to try to... Alright, they took Olbia. That's okay. In fact, actually, you guys go there. Although I'm going to have you create one horse unit who is detached to just go into Olbia. You get there after they leave. No, wait for a bit. Wait, no, you do get there after they leave. Okay, good. Yeah, they're going to run now. Good call. I'll catch them in the marsh. You retake that. Okay, they didn't assault it. They're still pushing through the breach. That's okay. Alright, this should be Well, I mean, obviously it will be a win for me. Here come more Scythian forces. Alright. That should be fine. Ooh, that is a very welcome stack wipe. Ooh, Scythia's not going to like that. Alright, we're going to go relieve the Siege of Kin. I think I've successfully responded. Actually, the fact that the Lysimachans attacked me before Scythia attacked me had my forces on the way into the area anyways, so that actually may have helped out. Okay. Creation of Olbia is one. Good. I'm just going to have you go to Skira. Actually, go behind Skira for now, and then just kind of wait to respond to things. It's good to have a horse unit roaming around. All right, good. These guys here, I will send in to work on Troismus. They'll just suffer the attrition, I think. I could just wait, actually. No, taking Troismus would be good. Taking Troismus would be good. I could assault it. It would save me some money. I think having Troismus, because let's see here. These guys aren't in the war, obviously, so these guys have to walk through Troismus. I think what we do is we go in, we do an assault at Troismus, and then we maybe pull back. Maybe we hold at Troismus. Well, let's go into Troismus and just sort of see what our options are. Okay. Let's wait for the tick and then reevaluate. Get that in right before the tick. Nice. I mean, I'd win the assault, but is it worth assaulting? Maybe I do actually get an Orgame border state from this. It's not a bad idea. I can make them release someone. There's a lot I could do here to mess up Lysimachans. Let's see, 30 war score for this. 1 innovation, it's not that much. 10% monthly income. They probably do have some good monthly income, but I don't know. What can I do as a tribal? I think I can only create tributaries as a migratory tribe. I don't think I can have more complicated subject types. I mean, a tributary would still be fine, because the thing is, with the way the land is shaped, Orgame is the only way in unless they're getting territory from Bird Dimensi, who I imagine they don't like. So having Orgame be a tributary would be, I think, a good approach to take here. 2 for peace. I need 17 for that. That's probably on the table. I have to get Orgame, conquered first. I don't really... Well, I don't really need Orgame as a tributary. I kind of just want the Lysimachid War to end. I think I will just... Let's see, what's my attrition around here? 7%. I think I'll just siege Troismus for now and kind of see what... I'll send these guys over here as well. Kind of see how things turn out there. I don't really know what I want to do with Troismus. Alright, good. Battle of Kin. Alright. Good. That's what I wanted to see. Nice. Can we catch these guys? We cannot. Okay. But we can cross the river and possibly catch those guys. Very interesting situation. I think what we want to do is head to Olbia. I could split here. I really could split here. man, lots of things to consider here. I actually I've really staved off the initial attacks here. I think I have the advantage here with my numbers to actually press into both Lysimachus and Scythia. Yeah, this is a... Look at this diplomatic situation. This is a new scenario for Sporia here, but I think we've actually... Ooh, hold on. Oh, wait, no, that's a claim. That's a claim. Is that my claim? I think it must be, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's my claim. Okay, I thought for a sec that was occupation by someone. Okay, this is a situation we're in here, but I think we've managed to respond well to how this has started, and we have a lot of options now for what we can do from here. So this is going to be, I think, a good stopping point for this episode. I'll give some thought to what I want to do with both wars and how we want to try and get an advantage out of these declarations. Despite not really sort of planning to go to war right now, we can definitely make something happen from this. So that'll be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.